It has been quite the year here in Kasımpaşa, and even though our cup run is finished and our European journey has come to an end in Croatia, we still have a very real chance of taking the Spor Toto Super League. 8 matches remain in the season, the first 2 of them coming today in this episode of Bottom to the Top. We're taking on Hatayspor. It's a massive top of the table 6-pointer. Then we've got mid-table Başakşehir, as well as the final run-in to the end of the season begins now. Welcome back, everyone, to episode number 42 of Bottom to the Top. Good morning. I'm Mr. Cellophane. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic week so far. Our massive run through the league has finally come to an end. We went 18 matches without losing in the Turkish top division, beating Beşiktaş 3-1 following our ousting of the Europa Conference League, before losing 2-0 at home against the last team in the league we had lost to. That's right, the only team that has successfully beaten us not once but twice this year is Adana Demirspor, and they did it 2-0 at home. 18 unbeaten is over. Let's get a new streak started in the final 8 matches of the season. Before we get into that, lost in all of the excitement are a couple of things. One, we finished our Continental A license. We tried to get the board to give us the Continental Pro, but they think that we're going to move on to bigger and better things if they did so they denied that request. However, they did give us a brand new 3-year deal. We're now making 6,000 euros a week. Our contract is good through the end of 2030. And while that happened a little while ago, part of it was because one of our club visions was pretty much a foregone conclusion at the time. We have successfully recorded a Super League top half finish. The worst we could do if we were to lose out and everybody were to win behind us would be 9th place. So we are on schedule to meet our board objectives. In fact, the board absolutely loves us, and we love our time here in Turkey. We are going for the top of the table. We are trying to win the league. We are definitely on track. Now, there's still plenty of matches left. Things could still change. We are definitely on track for making a return trip to European competition as well. In fact, if you take a look at the league table, we are in pretty good shape. Not as good a shape as we were in. We were at the top of the table for a while. Frankly, the loss against the Adana Demirspor is what has done us in and dropped us into second place. Trabzonspor has won their last 2 matches. We do have a game in hand on them, which is the match we are about to play against Hatayspor, who, as you can see, currently sits in 4th place, but only 2 points behind us. So we could head toward, we could stay in second, actually. We can go 1 point off of the lead, or we can fall all the way into 4th place, depending on this match right here. And we have gotten a bit lucky because Brian Meyer, who has been our best goalkeeper by far in the last run of games, is back from his injury. We have lost Gianluca Jimenez, however. He is not going to be available. Either is Evan Laidler, so they will not be on our bench. And coming back off of Knox are James Furlong and Nicholas Morgantini, so we're going to have to keep our eye on those guys. We have Mateus Enrique on the bench along with Umutcan Komur, just in case. Our starting lineup for this match is going to look pretty much as we started the year. It's going to be Meyer in goal. Well, he didn't start the year, but you know what I mean. A back 4 of Furlong, Adem, Amenda, and Morgantini, with Siddiqui, Donzi, and Ali Khan in the midfield. Yusuf and Sakishi are going to be paired up on attack with the pivot in front of them, Boubacar Traore, who has 13 goals so far on the year in all competitions. So the team heads out onto the field hoping the loss to Adana Demirspor is just going to be a minor blip on the road to what has been so far our most successful season at Kasımpaşa. We are in the light blue. Hatayspor is in the red and white, and that is not the way we wanted to start, with Andriy Shikishi coming up with an injury just 9 minutes into the match. So Suleiman, who has been getting the starts, is going to head back out onto the pitch. But a very early change that we were forced to make. Hopefully, it's one that ends up working out for us. A long throw in from Yusuf Insi. He'll get it back, or Amenda is taken down in the box. Ojdemir, the referee, is going to call for a penalty. VAR, of course, is going to review, and they're going to award the penalty to Kasımpaşa, which means that we line up for a chance to go up 1-0, and it will be Suleiman. He's been pretty good with these. Why do I ever say anything? But he has had a couple of times where he has failed to deliver. If we do make a change in the summer, we may need to find somebody who specializes in penalty kicks. The corner sent in and sent away. Yusuf will track it down, move it back to the inside. He's got a dem there. Runs into a bit of traffic, so Donzi will take control over for Morgantini. Moving the ball left, ahead for Furlong. Up that left wing side. He's on the sideline, sending it in the middle. Boubacar Traore gets his head on it, and he sends it goalward, but over everything. Erse will deliver the free kick. We've played just over 23 minutes. Ball headed forward, but Adem is there first. Laying it back for Meyer. Ahead, Morgantini. He's got space in front of him and some speed. Plays it to Yusuf Insi. Moving to the outside. Morgantini with it again. Up the sideline, into the middle. Traore, again, can't connect. Morgantini, in for Traore in the box. Into the middle, he finds Ali Khan, and Ali Khan finds the back of the net for his 8th goal of the year. Kasımpaşa taking the 1-0 lead here in the first half. This is what we needed. Sustained pressure. Keeping the ball away from the defense, and then finally getting it to an open man in front. And honestly, he wasn't all that open. There were actually 3 Kasımpaşa players in the same general area. But Hatayspor looking to get one back. Shot in off of the free kick. That's going to sail high and wide. So Meyer dove for it. Didn't need to make a stop, but another free kick from a dangerous position. And this time, Dom Marcolino is going to make us pay. Meyer went out to try to grab it. He was not fast enough to get all the way out there. Rivas with the delivery across. And basically an open net for Dom Marcolino. 1-1, your score after 28 and a half minutes. Kasımpaşa enjoying the lead in shots, but Jolison looking to send it far post. Dom Marcolino not as successful with another heading attempt as he was on the first one, so that's going to sail out for a goal kick. You know, it kind of bothers me a little bit. So Suleiman came into the match. He came in late. He's on a 6.1 rating, and that is only because he did not convert on that penalty. Morgantini with the chance in the waning moments of the first half. Throw in Yusuf to Amenda. Siddiqui in the middle. Ahead. He's got Yusuf behind the defense. Yusuf across. Boubacar Traore with the sitter. Wide open in the middle. There is goal number 14. He was onside. The flag has stayed down. And heading into the break, it should be Kasımpaşa 2, Hatayspor 1. Siddiqui, what a pass ahead for Yusuf. What a run. And then Boubacar Traore just gunning toward the goal, waiting for that cross. Yusuf connects with him, and he's got his 14th. 45 minutes in the books. Kasımpaşa ending the half with 9 shots on goal. Goals from Ali Khan and Boubacar Traore. Alan Dom Marcolino with the header for Hatayspor. 2-1 is your score after 1. The trick for us here in this second half is going to be keeping pressure on Hatayspor's defense. We can successfully make inroads if we can retain possession, if we make the good passes, if we are not untidy with the ball, which is the problem that we had when we were in Croatia, in any of the matches we played in Croatia, in both the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. De Los Santos with it. First highlight of the second half, and it goes Hatayspor's way. Lima sending it forward. Amenda will clear it, but only as far as Mator, carrying it deeper, sending it in, looking for Jolison, headed on, and Meyer able to make the save. We're going to give him a little clap because Meyer has been Aside from obviously the mistake that he made earlier on in this match, he has been incredibly solid for us. Furlong is getting a little tired. He's got the yellow card. He's coming back off of an injury, so we are going to get him off the pitch. We're going to do the same thing with Morgantini, as Mateus Enrique is going to come in. Umar Khan going to move into more of a support role, as we're going to go slightly more defensive. We're not really a defensive type of team. I mean, we play good defense, but we don't really head into those defensive mentalities. Those changes will take effect at the next whistle, as Meyer is going to just roll it out for Adem. He has a couple of options ahead of him, including Furlong along the near side, and that's the option he takes. Furlong carrying it forward, meets some resistance, loses control. He's taken down, and there's the injury we were hoping to avoid. Deli Bashiru, give him the red card. No, they're going to give him a yellow card, which, because he'd already been booked, is a red card. So luckily we were already making that change. Hopefully it is not a long-term injury for Furlong. Suleiman also, even though he came on, he's just exhausted. He's having a bad match. We'll get Almazbekov in his position. Dre Siddiqui also coming back from an injury. Ogashan Ilyomaz is going to sub in for him. 10-8 your shots on goal. 2-1 is the score. Can we hang on? The ball has been pretty much going our way for the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, as Hatayspor has been down to 10 men, and that will be it. No further highlights, but that's okay. It means that nothing bad happened to us either. 2-1 is your final. 3 massive points to keep us in second place, and more importantly, just that 1 point from the top. We've got Bajakshi here coming up next. They are in mid-table. Let's get to it. Hopefully for us, Suleiman can get his stuff together, because Endri Sakishi going to be out for the next 5 to 6 weeks with a hamstring strain. The injury to James Furlong, not as bad. He will be out for the match against Bajakshi here. He did stub his toe, apparently, while getting taken down. 6 to 8 days, but that's going to be long enough to not take part in our next match. Couple of little bits that came and went during all of our excitement during our European run is we decided we were going to hire a new coach for our U19s team. Yes, I see his stats aren't great, but if you recognize his name and face, Claudio Vink is back in the Kasımpaşa fold. After we let his contract expire, we have hired him to coach our junior team. Hopefully he gets better. We also some time back had our set piece coach, Özgür Yildiz, poached by, of all places, Galatasaray. Now, we tried to replace him a number of times with new guys, and each time the coach opted to sign with somebody else. Well, we finally got our guy. Take a look at Yilmaz. Nathan Spence, the 31-year-old, is going to be joining us as our new set-piece coach as we accept that, and he is better at his job than the old guy. So hopefully, we've been doing all right in set pieces. Maybe not set piece defense, as we've seen in a couple of episodes, and some highlight packages of the in-between stuff. But hopefully we improve as we continue to make this run-in with just 7 matches left in this season. The first of which is at home against Besiktas. 2 changes to be made. Umut Khan coming in to replace the injured Furlong. We already talked about that. Also, Suleiman is going to get his second consecutive game. Well, I almost said second consecutive start. It was almost as if he started. But he's going to be replacing Shikishi in the offensive midfield. So it's going to be Meyer, Umut Khan, Adem, Amenda, Morgantini, Siddiqui, Donzi, and Ali Khan, Suleiman, Yusuf Insi, and Boubacar Traore, as we go to a slightly more positive attitude. A win could see us return to the top of the table with 6 matches left, and when you are near the top of the table, you always have a favorable run-in, which we will look at before we sign off at the end of this episode. But right now, it's going to be Trabzonspor that has the game in hand on us. We are playing first. They play later today on the road at Ankaragücü. Hopefully, if we can win, it will put some distance in between us. And the first highlight of the match is going to be a long throw in from the near sideline. Yusuf Insi finding Amenda in the box, dropping it for Yusuf. Traore far post, and all he does is score goals. Boubacar Traore with picking up his 15th of the year, and Kasımpaşa takes the 1-0 lead pending the VAR review, which says he was offside. Oh, come on. Seriously, FM? Seriously? I've seen far more egregious offsides get upheld by your VAR system. Whatever. We're still... all the momentum is on our side. 62% possession, 6-1 your shots on goal. It's just going to be tied at halftime, and that's just reality I'm going to have to deal with because Football Manager. I mean, frankly, this is kind of the match that not just on paper, but the way it has played out in front of us should be a victory for Kasımpaşa. Let's hope that Football Manager doesn't decide to make things more interesting in this league than it already needs to, because as we all know, that's kind of how things work. Morgantini, great through ball to Yusuf. He is in the box in the middle. Suleiman is going to get blocked off. It looked like Yusuf got taken down, and maybe a penalty should have been called. I don't know. Another long throw, and this time Başakşehir is going to get in the way of that. Yusuf tracks down the clearance. Ali Khan, Donzi from range, and Pinto is going to steer that to the side for a Kasımpaşa corner. And again, we're throwing the kitchen sink at them. Let's see how our new set piece coach does. Donzi delivers. Amenda can't get his head on it. Ali Khan tracks it down. Donzi flipping it into the middle. Embark is going to clear that. Siddiqui playing it forward. All Kasımpaşa in this second half, but again, we have yet to hit the back of the net at a time that is going to count. Suleiman not having the greatest game for the second match in a row. We're going to actually bring out Kamplat Shelik. We wanted to start him, but felt that he wouldn't have been able to see out the match, having just played a U19 match the day before. So hopefully he'll be able to come in and make a difference for us here as he comes in around 65 minutes into this match. Kamplat Shelik, if you've been watching the series for a while, you know he scored 5 goals for us last year. 4 of them did come in the cup, but late on in the season, he did get his first senior goal for Kasımpaşa in league play. More subs on the way with 10 minutes left to go as we look to get in some fresh legs. Aurelien Menda is one of those. We're going to get Benedict Joseph an opportunity to get in on the pitch. Dre Siddiqui also feeling a bit on the aggressive side. Samed Hopash, who is more of an offensive-minded player, and we do want to stay offensive-minded right now, is going to come in. In fact, we're going to move Traore into more of an attacking role as well. Umit Khan's going to stay on the attack. We'll try it with Morgantini too. Hopefully we're not going to leave ourselves too exposed as we try to push forward a bit more than we have been in the final 10 minutes. But 13-3 have been the shots on goal. We have been dominating this match. We should be able to pull ahead. Morgantini in. Joseph playing it into the middle. Hopash can't get there first, and it's cleared by Başakşehir. Yusuf Insi for Samed. Umit Khan with it into the middle. Traore, he's going to hit the post. What is going on? Why does FM hate us so much that when given an opportunity to once again take the first position at the top of the table, no matter how well we play, Football Manager just decides that's not the way it wants to be, and the game ends in a 0-0 draw, a game in which we absolutely dominated in possession, in XG, shots on goal, shots on target. They didn't even manage a shot on target the entire match. And a very questionable offside call upheld by actually created by VAR. It wasn't even called offsides on the pitch. Goal from Boubacar Traore called back as a result. 0-0. We are, however, still at the top of the table. Well, at least for a moment anyway, Trabzonspor was successful in beating Ankaragücü, a team, as you can see, in the relegation zone. So we head into match week 29, 3 points off of the top of the table, 10 points clear of 6th, which means we are in pretty good shape for a European place. There 18 points remaining with 6 matches left to go. We are going to end the season in our next episode. Worst case scenario, we're at home against Ayupspor and on the road against Galatasaray, sitting in 8th place, a position that I bet they did not expect to be in this season. No points deduction for going into administration. If they were in the Premier League, better watch out for that. 41 points for them. We have guaranteed ourselves a top half finish, but we will come back if we are able to continue and mount a challenge for the top spot. We are going to come back when we have either a chance to clinch or the season is going to end. What will it be? We'll have to find out together tomorrow. Hopefully it's the former. We've been at the top of the table for so very long. Since the midpoint of the season, we have been really in the catbird seat. Things slipped away just a little bit with matches that we couldn't pull out victories in. We had to settle for draws, a lot of draws. We've only lost 4 times all year long in the league. Outside of Turkey, totally different story, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're challenging for Europe. We're challenging for the league. And that's all going to conclude tomorrow. I hope to see you then. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.